for example, in our country, about 80% of all mortgages are government backed, which one could call a type of socialism. There's not a single European country where 80% of mortgages are government backed. We've got them beat in terms of socialism when it comes to home mortgages. So that's an important fact to point out, because what it does is when the government runs its own secondary mortgage market, which is what Fannie and Freddie do, it
Yes.
causes significant increased demand on the mortgage market. And that causes upward pressure on prices. So we're really going to have a conversation about how much do we want the government having its hands in the punch bowl, trying to constantly keep things hyper and super heated up at all times? Or do we need to have a plan to, say, gradually, over, say, 5, 10, 15 years, reduce the government footprint in the mortgage market and let the private sector take that role? I think that we're going to have a conversation about that, because as long as the government is constantly keeping demand red hot through backing the mortgage market, I think it's going to cause a lot of artificial upward pressure on prices. And the things I just mentioned were not at all included in the recently passed 21st Century Road to Housing Act, because it's politically more difficult. The politicians are very hesitant to go after that because the industry really likes the way that the current system works. And of course, we want everybody to make money, don't get me wrong, but we do have to have balance as well, so that things are not ridiculously unaffordable for the average person. So, during COVID, the Federal Reserve bought $1.2 trillion in mortgage backed securities. That caused a significant increase in house prices. So when the federal government has its hands in everything and is playing like this, it really causes a lot of unaffordability. Just like when the government backs student loans, it makes college more expensive. When the government backs home loans, it makes homes more expensive. It's the same dynamic at play. So I would have a plan, not immediately, not overnight. You don't want to have a heart attack in the system, but I would have a plan slowly over time to reduce the government footprint in the mortgage market from, say, 80% down to 75, and 75 down to 70, and keep getting it down there so that we can restore some affordability to the market and stop this government induced high demand that we are seeing right now.